Voila. Mhm. All right. Very good. Very good, everyone. Welcome to the practice hour. Great to have you here. Mm. Candy, always a regular. Great to see that smile. Jackie, it's been a long time since I've seen you in the practice hour. There you go. Very
Yeah,
nice. Cool.
right here.
Anne, great to have you here as always. Lorraine, also a regular. Great to see you again. Jeannie Marini, have I had you in here before?
Uh, you had me in the other class, the one on lights and so
Yeah.
on, which was a while ago, and I haven't been able to join these ones because I've been traveling. So my first time.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, great to have you here.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, Nan, good to see you.
Good
Hello.
to see you
Polly,
too.
great to have you. Kathy, back for more. I just had a class with Kathy a couple hours ago, but she's back for more. Beth, great to have you here. Cecilia as well. Hey, what's up? Lorraine and CM. Captain, is that you? CM? Anyways, all right, everyone. Welcome to the practice hour. When I was here a month ago with you all, I'll admit, I think I was still a little bit jet lagged from my trip. So I'm coming in here now thinking to myself, like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've seen these people. But no, we did one in August. We did one in August. All right. Welcome to September's practice hour. All right. Brought to you in collaboration with the Leo Marchutz School of Painting and Drawing. Now, I have something very exciting with you all to share with you all regarding the Marchutz School. In fact, I don't know, some of you have sent these to me before, but I want to share them with you. I think this is a good place to share them with you. So, the New York Times runs this series called 10-Minute Challenge. Okay, some of you may be familiar with it. And in fact, some of you, I believe, have emailed me these exact New York Times articles because it talks so much about looking at art the way we do, or the way we're taught at Marchutz, the way I do with you all in our classes. Now, what's especially special about this month's edition is not the Monet, is not the Venice, despite me loving those things, but the Leo Marchutz School is actually featured inside this article. All right. So our director, Alan Roberts, is spoke with Larry Buchanan, the author, talking a little bit about color. Okay, color in general, how color operates, also how color works in this specific painting by Monet. So if you maybe you're taking a color class with me right now, Kathy, or maybe you've taken one with me in the past, or maybe you're just inspired by Venice and painting in general. But I'm going to share the link with you all to this article so you can read it without the paywall, okay? And do the challenge, all right? I know all of you can. But also, yeah, take a look at some of what our very own Marschutz's Alan Roberts is sharing in the article. So once you've read the article, if you are so inspired, then go ahead to the Leo Marchutz School website where we have programs and workshops galore online and in person for you to deepen your practice, to deepen your appreciation of art, to maybe even take your art to new horizons. One particular program that's coming up a ways away from now that I'm particularly interested, excited for, and is rather on topic, given the New York Times article, is our very own trip to Venice. Okay. So if you read that New York Times article and you are just so swooning over Monet and his work in Venice and dream of going in there and walking in the footsteps of Monet and painting where he painted, we could actually do that together with the Marchutz School next spring. You'll have the option of working in oil or watercolor, and I will be the watercolor instructor for that trip. But it's a great way if you're practicing and you want to take your practice to new experiences with other artists that are similarly passionate about travel and seeing new places and painting outdoors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we can do that all together this spring. All right. So be sure to check out the programs and workshops page. I'll give you that link. I'll give you the link to the Venice trip. Now, if you're hearing me talk about Venice and you're sort of rolling your eyes, thinking like, oh my God, Nick is always traveling, going to new places, trying to get me to go to new places, and it's tiring you out, we also have a great series of workshops led by our very own Pauline Betrancourt, who's joining us today. She's doing a series of much lighter touch workshops, focusing on topics to get you back into your practice. So she already did one on drawing. The next one will be on drawing and light, and another one on color, and finally ending the series with composition. So these are much more lighter touch for our sweatpants and pajamas inclined folk who like to practice from home, from the comfort of their home. But still, hear some new ideas and get some inspiration for their practice. So I will send you the link for Pauline's workshop series this fall as well. And then finally, I'm just making sure that everyone is aware. I've been working with some of you for almost a few years now, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows my website has changed a little bit. It is now ncvelleman.com, okay? Not what it used to be. So all the same resources that I make available to my students are available for you here at ncvelleman.com. All right. Cool. So, without further ado, I can take this away. And when I was, hang on a second, there it is. Okay, so when I was picking out the image for today, um, I was thinking to myself, okay, Larry Buchanan thinks he's so special with his 10-minute challenge. Oh no, 10 minutes. Well, Mr. Buchanan, Mr. New York Times, I have a group of people that do that for breakfast, all right? And not just 10 minutes. We do a whole hour. We do a whole hour with watercolors. We do a whole hour with pencils. We do a whole hour with pastels, paints, anything we got at home. So that's right. This month's practice hour, we'll be working on the very Venice painting by Monet featured in that article. Okay? So you all can get started here. I'm going to make it a touch smaller. And actually, I need to reduce this window so I can still read my notes. Sorry about that. But challenge accepted, Mr. Buchanan. I see your 10 minutes. I raise you a whole hour with my all-star crew of practicing artists here. No New York Times article intimidates us. All right, because we are the practice hour. So, some friendly reminders and guidelines to the workshop. The practice hour is an opportunity for artists to get some practice. This is not a class. I do not have a lesson planned. When working from a masterwork such as this, the goal is not to make a forgery, but to have your own experience with the masterwork and practice putting it together according to whatever key relationships and essential elements you see. Make your own parallel image with your own touch. It can still be an opportunity to learn. I will be sharing insights about my process as the session unfolds. If watching my, oh, no, 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 you're going to see my desk. I don't have to say that anymore. Feel free to ask me questions, all right? However, if you don't have anything to say, I ask that you remain muted just to eliminate any distracting background noise. Likewise, if you are in the zone and just want to work, feel free to mute me. Special thank you to our returning participants who regularly contribute. We are happy to offer this monthly online practice hour at no cost to our community. If you are enjoying this program, please consider making a donation to support the mission of the Leo Marchutz School of Painting and Drawing at the link that I will send you all in just a moment. All right. So you all get to work. I have some links that are coming to you in the chat, and then I will join you. Oh my God, that's right. So Beth is writing in the chat before I give you all the links. Beth is saying, if any of you go to Venice as art and craft aficionados, I highly recommend stopping by Gianni Basso's Stampatore in Canareggio. He and his son run this absolutely amazing little handcrafted print shop near the F. Novo Vaporetto stop. Lovely. And the little museum next door. Beth, how was your trip? You've gone by this time, right? Have you gone already? Yeah?
Yeah,
And you're back.
just got back. Yeah, it was
Okay.
fantastic. Thank you so much for the tips. I have a little, like, it's one of my sketches just of this area.
Oh, nice. Is that the Doge's Palace? Oh, I mean, it's basically what we're working on almost. Super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. The Geodeca has all the great spots, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Right. Wow. I hope this isn't too much like Venice overload for you, but maybe
Oh,
you can't.
is there such a thing? It was,
Yeah,
it's
there you
fun.
go. It's just what I was
Actually,
going to say.
I actually did ended up doing almost entirely pen and ink when I was there, so this will be good. I'm doing color.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Certainly. All right. Now let me get these links in the chat for you all so that you can have them. So, right. That's one. Okay, tutto bene. Let's do this. Okay, everyone. So forgive me for just a moment. I need to unshare and share my screen again so I could put my desk, make it visible for everyone. So just bear with me super quick. I still have not quite found the best workaround for that, but there we go. And I don't need you. I need you on the right and you on the left and you to be a wee bit wider because this is a landscape format painting. Beautiful. All right, then I will work here. So I am going to be working in pencil today, actually. I have been doing a lot of watercolor stuff. Et j'en ai marre, as we would say in French. J'en ai marre un peu. So I'm going to take this opportunity to stretch myself and draw. And the light keeps changing over here in Dublin, so let me get a little bit more light. There we go. Maybe not like that much. Hmm. Actually, maybe the best way to do it would be this. That should be okay. Great. All right. So another reason why I'm drawing is I'm inspired by Pauline's next workshop. Pauline's next workshop, the topic is, um, well, I already forget the title. Sorry, Pauline. But it has to do with drawing and light. Is that correct?
Yes, it's Let There Be Light.
Of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense as a title. Great. Okay. So, let there be light. Well, especially when I look at a painting like this, um, I'm always trying to make mental notes as to what the lightest and what the darkest parts of the image are. And typically, the lightest areas I am going to accomplish by using the light of the page. The white surface is going to serve as my light. And looking at this painting of the Doge's Palace in Venice, the light of my page, the white surface of my paper, is going to be a lot of that architecture there. So my work is going to focus, I believe, mostly on the stuff around it, negative space, but also some of the shadows on the side, maybe this horizon area where the water meets the architecture. We'll see. But I definitely want to protect some of that architecture area as untouched paper. So let me begin. Right. So I'm using an HB graphite stick right now. And let me, yeah, how do I, where's my, all right. So I'm using an HB graphite stick right now. I want something that makes a broad stroke so I can just start blocking in a lot of the areas that I see. So for example, I see that the rightmost edge of the palace comes roughly 4/5 of the way across. So I'm going to start just getting some marks in this corner where the sky will be. All right. So keeping it pretty light. I'm not really trying to go for the exact value at this point. I am just trying to get some general shapes and placement of things on my paper. I mean, looking at that texture in the water, all those little dark blues on top of those pale yellows and peach tones, um, already has me sweating a little bit. That's going to be a tough texture to accomplish, but that's okay. It's just practice. Okay. So you could probably, how did that happen? Hmm. Does everyone see this like yellow mark on my screen here? Yeah. All right. I'll have to figure out how that happened and how to get rid of it. Maybe we may just have to deal with that for the moment, unless strange. Yeah, there's probably some function that allows me to draw, but I don't want to distract. Okay, no, I'm not gonna play with it anymore. We're gonna live with it this time. Sit back, graph. Okay, but looking at the drawing, despite that stray thread of yellow yarn on my screen, um, so I've blocked in generally where a lot of the darker values are going to go. And you can see where the building, okay, is already becoming present. Now, I can feel it in my mind, in my heart, that I'm trying to avoid all of these archways and openings in the face of that building. But from experience, I know that if I don't address them at least a little bit right now, while I'm addressing all the other parts of the drawing, um, I risk my drawing developing out of cohesion with itself. So instead of procrastinating, I guess I'm gonna get into some of that.
Nick, I have a small question.
What is up? Celia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? You look good.
Very well.
There are 17 of them, and I hate that it's uneven. Of those bottom ones, the top ones all look kind of, I mean, it's 7, but they're nicely situated around that middle spot.
Okay.
17. I'm not sure why that irritates me so much. Do you think we should care?
I definitely don't think you should care. I
I
definitely
don't
do not
think I
think you
do
should care.
care.
Yeah, no, I definitely would not try counting the windows. I think you should try and make that, okay, like, let's get away from what we know,
Yeah.
okay? The number of windows there. Instead, let's stick to what we experience visually, and I want you to just focus on that pattern, all right? They
Yeah,
make
yeah,
a pattern.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I
They,
love about this is the symmetry. And so that's, I think, why the 17 irritates me so much because the symmetry is so appealing.
hmm. Yeah, so the 17 on the ground floor bother you, but the
Yeah,
7 on the top floor don't bother you?
no.
Okay, that's fine. Anyways, I would
All
say
right.
focus
I'm
on the
going to deal
pattern,
with
on the
it.
visual patterns that they create. Definitely do not be counting the number of
Yeah, yeah,
door
yeah.
arches that you see. Yeah, of
I'm going to deal with it. You're right. Thank you.
course. All right. So let's see. Like I'm going to start the pattern here, and really I just want to make my the pattern that I'm drawing behave like the pattern that I'm seeing. That is probably the the best way I could summarize my approach to it. I just try and get things to behave like what I see. I don't get it. I don't need it to be exact. Oh my God, what shapes? I mean, especially with drawing now, I'm getting these archways, all right? And I have the tool that makes dark happen. So the void, the space, the opening of the arches I can get, but then there are these yellow squares in there. So I have to be attentive to those yellow squares as well as the columns between the archways. Wow, what a nightmare. My God. Right. Hey, good thing we have more than 10 minutes. Am I right?
Hi, Nick. This is Captain from the last class. I was just wondering, do art historians have any idea how long Monet would have spent on this? Was it like an hour or an afternoon? Did he come back?
It's a great question. Um, Pauline, help me out here.
Well, for this one, I don't know in particular. It could be what Monet would be using as a system is to come back multiple time at the same time on within a week. So this way he would really capture the light that he would see. But in Venice too, the weather can change so quickly from one day to another. So that is an excellent question, and we know more or less exactly where he was painting. I'm sure that a series of scientists can also tell you, based on the letters and everything, when it was happening in terms of the time, and that looks like a morning painting
Mhm.
based on the light. So it could have been a very quick one, like a one session.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it definitely could have been one session. So I've looked at the New York Times article. I do wonder, I can't recall off the top of my head if they say how long he spent on something like this. But like Pauline was talking, Monet was famous for dedicating a painting to a very specific time of day. So there might be a half dozen to a dozen of these Doge's Palace paintings that Monet did. But each one will be like Pauline says this is a morning painting. Okay, so let's say he would work on this one from 9:15 in the morning to 9:45. Okay, Monday through Friday. But when 9:45 comes, he'd take this canvas off the easel, pick up another one, and that next painting he'd work on from 10 to 10:45, for example. He was really interested in how the light, in capturing the light in specific weather conditions and specific moments of day. So it may be quick 30, 45-minute sessions that happened 5 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 10 days in a row, something like that.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Okay. So I can tell that I'm tightening up a lot because there's so many details in the architecture here. So I'm opting to just make things a little more abstract And instead of trying to get, I'm looking at the second floor, the American second floor. Okay, so above the archways, all those little thin openings. And I think I'm just going to go for hatch marks that run across. Maybe I'll vary them by making my lines originate from different directions, but I want to just get that part of the building down, and then I can embellish certain parts and create more texture later. But I can tell that personally I'm getting so hung up on that, and I want to be able to move on to other things that I'm just going to resort to summarizing and abstracting some of these shapes a little bit. Okay, that's enough for now on that. Let me get to some of the texture in the water. Da, 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 da. Hmm, okay. Coming together here. Let's see. All right, I think it's time to go a little bit darker. So I'm going to switch from the HBs to, let's see. Yeah, let me be a little reckless. Let's jump all the way to 9B, see what happens. I'll have to go really light, but since the foundation of my drawing is already here, what I like to get this down first, and then the rest of my drawing is reconciling or balancing out the different values. So actually, no, I'm not going to use the 9B because I'm already seeing things that I want to fix. So back to HB, like for example, where the building meets the sky, there's another texture up here. I want to get that. And I want something light, relatively light for that. There we go. So a little bit of that is already bringing in some separation between the top of the building and the sky. Okay. Okay, getting there. Getting there. I still think, okay, I still think I could switch to something darker. And maybe not a 9. Well, let's try it. See what happens. So, like I said earlier, I like to start with just sort of touching everything at least once, okay? Not worrying about getting it perfect, but just getting it down so that I can then begin balancing out the image from there. By balancing out, I mean sort of reconcile all the relationships, all the value relationships in the image. So, for example, down here where the building meets the water, much darker. So that might be an area where I spend a little bit of time just making it darker. But I'm not really worrying about placement at this stage anymore. I handled that right from the beginning. All right, so I'm darkening some of these marks in the foreground, the reflections. Not all of them, but just some of them, especially the ones towards the bottom. That's going to help pull this part of the image a little bit closer to me. All right, everyone. So just to check in for time, we're going to go for about another 10 more minutes, okay? All right, I'm getting towards my finishing touches. There's a bridge over here on the far right, and I'm trying to make it emerge by drawing, make the shape of it emerge by drawing around it. Then I'm going to take one more look at the whole drawing and see what needs to be darker. Okay. All right, everyone, how about just a couple more minutes with the image? So begin finishing up the part of the image you are working on. Ooh. I totally forgot this little tower thing over here. Let's give it the shape of a little tower pillar. All right, so my last marks, even though I made the face of the building the white of my page, not all of it is pure, pure, pure white. So I'm just coming in with some very faint hatch marks to sort of give it a little more texture so it doesn't seem like this flat rectangle. Um, it actually sort of concentrates the light of the page even further with just a few marks like that. Okay, I think that may be as much as I get in here. A little bit more underneath these windows. All right, everyone. So let's maybe 60 more seconds, okay? And then we'll wrap this up. I'll take the image away. We can take a quick group screenshot that Rose will send out to all of you. Then we can go back to enjoying the rest of our weekend, knowing that we have accomplished something this Sunday. All right, everyone. Very good. So I'm going to take the image away. Real quick, I want to show you all this. All right. This is the date and time for the next practice hour, October 12th. I want you to note the time. We started at 1 p.m. Eastern today, but it's going to be just a little bit earlier next month. All right. We're going to be doing a little bit of moving back and forth with the start time of this fall just to accommodate my teaching schedule, really. But 11 a.m. October 12th on Sunday will be our next practice hour. All right. So I can stop sharing. Okay, very good. And I'd love for you all to hold up your work while I grab a quick screenshot of what we've done. And I will make sure that Larry Buchanan himself sees this so he can see that we are not daunted by his puny 10-minute challenge. My God. All right, beautiful, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice. Right on, Kathy. Very good. All right. Everyone, this has been lovely. It's been great seeing you all. I hope you enjoyed that. And check out the article for sure. Okay. All of those links in the chat, click on them now before we wrap up this session so that you have them. You have the windows open on your computer and you can come back to them later if you'd like. But definitely read the article. Definitely check out what the Marchutz School has going on its website. Take a look at Pauline's workshops that are coming this fall. There we go, Pauline, right on. Pauline, do you know the date of the next one? September something or October?
It's October 19th.
Okay, very good. So we have time. But yeah, check out what Pauline is doing there. Nice little light touches to keep your practice going and keep you inspired and thinking about things. All right. Many thanks.
you.
Yeah, you too, Captain.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank
Thank
Right
you very
on.
much, Nick.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks,
dinner
Nick.
time for me. I'm gonna mangiare, as they say in Italy, Venezia. Ciao, everyone. See
Ciao.
you next time.